guys, today I'm going to film for you the perfect palette tag, which is probably the best tag for me that's come up in months and months, if not years. Palettes and eyeshadow in general are my favourite thing, and so I have done a little bit of prep work. When have you ever known me to prepare for a video? Ever. Never. But I did a little bit of prep work and really thought about this one. And so I have the 8 questions here, and I've kind of really thought about it, got into my palette drawer, and thought, no, these are definitely the ones that I want to go for. So I'm going to go with number 1, best packaging. Urban Decay Book of Shadows 3 was my first answer for this, which is this beautiful, beautiful palette here. And the reason it's got best packaging is this. How amazing is this? Does anyone remember this? I feel like this is from the beginning of me being on YouTube, like 4 years ago. This was a really, really big deal. This came out just before the original Naked palette, to date it for you. This is just amazing, and it still lights up, it still lights up. Don't leave it lit up very often, and if you do leave it out, if you want to kind of display it somewhere, you do have to first of all crack the back of it because it automatically falls forward, but the light does go off after a while, so you're not going to waste the battery or anything like that. So if you have it and you were thinking about that, or if you don't have it but you see it on eBay or something, get it, it's amazing. So the packaging is amazing, and then it has a drawer that pulls out the shadows and had various other things in here as well. But this was kind of almost going to be my most versatile palette as well, but I decided the glitter was going to put me off because the very pale colours that would do for neutrals, I just wish that they weren't full of glitter, because there are some beautiful colours in here. Height is gorgeous, it's almost a warm blue, I love that one. But this in general, this was like the beginning of my Urban Decay love affair, you might say, and I just holds a special place in my heart. So that one had to get the best packaging, but it's very bulky and it's not the most productive, not the most practical packaging, and so I've put in a second here. I've actually got 2 answers for most of these questions, and the second is the Naked Basics, because if you consider this has 6 shadows in it and it's this small. Let's see, let me just check. Yes, this definitely does have 12. I thought I was going to make a fool of myself, but the Naked 1, 2 and 3 have 12 shadows in them. But if you consider how much bigger the packaging is, it seems a little bit crazy. Like, this could have been half the size, like generally could have been a lot smaller. And yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I think that this packaging is amazing. They've not tried to make it look like more than it was. It spoke for itself, and that's why people bought it, and I've only recently purchased it, and I'm so happy with it. But they didn't have to make it kind of some big show. But it's nice to have the nicer, showier kind of collector's makeup pieces. But this is probably the more practical packaging, so that's going to win number 2, like second place, best packaging. Number 2 is best colour payoff, and I cannot decide one particular palette, but I'm going to go with Urban Decay. I do really like Too Faced as well. They're kind of the same thing. Too Faced and Urban Decay always bring out really similar things to each other, and I think that they're kind of comparable, but Urban Decay has the edge for me because I just love them so much. MAC isn't as good as Urban Decay in my opinion. There are several American brands that I really want to try, like Lorac or Lorac, however you pronounce it, but that is it for me. Completely love anything from Urban Decay. They are the best quality eyeshadows that I've ever tried. Number 3 is most versatile palettes, and again I'm gonna go, actually I did choose this one, so I must have chosen this one. I prepped and then I forgot my answers. I must have chosen this one purely because it is a really nice mix of colours and neutrals. I just really do wish that the glitter, I think I probably went for this one in the end because I might be on my own feeling like that about the glitter, but all the very pale colours, we have Maui Wowie, Snatch, Midnight Cowboy Rides Again and Uzi, which are all full of glitter. The only ones that aren't are Smog, my all-time favourite, and Suspect, which is very similar to Smog. I'm not sure you needed both of these. But the colours in these are amazing. It has a matte black. I just wish it didn't have quite so much glitter in it. But if you consider, I suppose, of all my palettes that I do have, that's probably most versatile if we're talking about a palette that I would reach for. I have a second choice for this one as well, and it is my eBay palette, one of many. I actually have, oh no, one of the shadows has fallen out of this. I actually have another one of these that I've been using, or haven't for a really long time, but this one, for some reason I have 2, so I got you the new one out because it's a little bit neater. But this is the 88 palette, which is the same as like the Coastal Scents, the whatever. They were all over the internet when I first started on YouTube. You can't say this isn't versatile because it has all the neutrals, all the colours. It's just a rainbow, and you could get pretty much any eye look with that at all. But obviously the quality is not there compared to Urban Decay. It just depends on your budget and what you are looking for. I feel like another eyeshadow fell out of that then. Hey, number 4, best for travel. I think we're going back to this one. This is amazing. The packaging, it's just so compact. It feels sturdy still. It's kind of rubberized, but it's not that kind of rubbery where it gets makeup everywhere. I think maybe because of the colour of it, it doesn't feel like it's going to get as dirty. But this is incredible for how much, it's really, they've put as little packaging in this as possible. So for travel, amazing. But I also wanted to mention this, which is a Unii palette. Looks like this inside. This is a magnet strip where you can cut bits off and stick it on the bottom of your depotted shadows, and this is a thumb holder so you can hold the palette whilst you're using it. I have a few of these, and this is the newest, cleanest one, but anything that I depot, that I decide to put into a palette, I did have all my MAC shadows in here until I got the new MAC palette, which is beautiful, but I did have all my MAC shadows in here until I changed that. Now I'm finding like these are kind of not being used so much, but if I wanted to take my MAC shadows somewhere, I would definitely put them in here because I feel like this is more sturdy and a lot more travel friendly. Number 5, biggest regret. I have 2 here. One is kind of the Chroma range in general. Now I was sent a couple of these palettes, and Laura from Laura Loves Beauty kindly sent me the ones that I didn't get, and I was so in love with them to begin with. I so wanted them to be great. They have these in the bottom, which is basically like supposed to be a bronzer. Not in this one it isn't, but it's supposed to be a bronzer, highlighter and blush, but this is kind of just 2 blushes and a highlight. And then in the top you have 8 eyeshadows. And I used these initially and thought, yeah, they're okay, but they're no better than like MUA shadows and ones that are much, much cheaper. The packaging's okay, but it's pretty cheap, and I hardly ever use them anymore. So they're my biggest regret, although technically I didn't buy them, because I wanted to mention them because they are still available, and I wouldn't recommend that you buy them just because they're no better than ones that you can get for a lot cheaper. And if you were going to spend that money, I would recommend that you spend it on this. And the other one for, what are we on? Regret, is this. It's the Sigma Flare palette. It looks like this because I left it on my windowsill and the packaging's faded slightly. I really like the colours that are in here, I really, really do. But the packaging is massive for what you get. I mean, let's just compare it. We just compared the basics and the naked. Where did I put the naked palette? Where's it gone? Because that's going to be, I need it in a minute. Where is it? One of those things that I just put it like somewhere. There it is. Where did I put that? Okay, so we just compared the basics and said how much packaging the regular naked palette has that it doesn't need if you consider the naked basics. Well, this has even more packaging. It's got even less shadows in it. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This has 12. This has 8. The massive space between each shadow came with a brush. That was quite nice. But look how deep it is. It doesn't need to be this deep. You can't do anything with this. This lives on your dresser, and it's just not versatile enough for it to live on my dresser. So it sits in a box or sits in a drawer, never get it out. The colours are beautiful when I use them. It's great. But it's my biggest regret because, do you know, I might actually have to depot these because I feel like if I depotted them I would use them more. It's really the packaging that stopped me from using this palette. It was just... The packaging is stupid in my opinion, and much as they're great, it doesn't have enough of the neutrals and kind of the very pales and the darks with the colour in between. It's just kind of random colours put together, and much as they are nice, I feel like I need different ones. I need to dip into other palettes to make a look work, and because the packaging is so big, I'm just not going to have it out and use it very often. So that's another one of my regrets. Best colour names. I'm going to go for Too Faced with this one, and my Too Faced, what's the word, example is this Natural Eye kit, which again, it's smaller at least, but I feel like I don't get as much use out of this one, again, because it's quite bulky for what it is. It has this in it. It really didn't need to be this thick, did it? Another one that I might depot. I have in here, it's basically got 3 base shades, and then it's suggesting where you go with it, kind of like day, classic, fashion, so whatever. But some of the colours in here are called Heaven, Velvet Revolver, Sexpresso, I like that, Silk Teddy, which is my favourite one, Push Up, Erotica, Nude Beach, Honey Pot and Cocoa Puff, and obviously it's all supposed to be themed to kind of nude or natural, probably like naturist. But I just think they're such cute names, and Urban Decay definitely were in the running there, but Too Faced have it on the cute names, I think. Least used, Urban Decay Black Palette, where have I put that? here we are, the Decay black palette. I think it's fairly obvious why this is my least used palette. It's black. You have a regular black called Black Dog, and then all of these, I used to work for Decay, so I know the spiel of why you should buy this. But if you ever see this, or if they re-promote it, or they do whatever with it, don't buy it, because you'll never use it. This is again a nice one to have kind of, if you've got a lot of space, or you get like, my problem is I don't get ready where all my makeup is. I have my makeup area where I have my basics, and this is my current makeup. I'm not going to be in the middle of doing my makeup and think, oh, I'll go for a colourful blackish kind of eyeliner. I'll go for this, or I'll go and get this out. It's just too much hassle, so I don't. And so that's why some of the stuff that I have, although it's nice, I don't use, and that's the problem with this one. If I had space to just have this kind of to hand near where I get ready, then I might use it, but I just don't. And basically the colours here all look good and are white. They make everything look a little bit different. If you could use them kind of as, well, I'll show you one of them. This is a beautiful one. Cobra. You're not going to be able to see that from there, but it's kind of like an olivey green black. They've all got a base of black in them. That really is beautiful, though I should use this palette and I don't. They've all got a base of black in them, so you can use them as they are. You can use them wet as an eyeliner. You can use them obviously just in your regular makeup look, or you can put a white shadow or a white base on like a NYX Milk eye pencil, and then you put this on top and it just totally transforms. So I get why they're so great, and I think that they are a really, really nice quality and all that. Urban Decay, I still love you, but I don't use them very much because they're just, you know, they're variations of black eyeshadow, and I'm not going to use them all that much. And I had another one, FC UK colour palette. Again, this was another one that was sent to me. What were they thinking? This is like something that my mum would find in her closet, even the packaging. This is the kind of thing my mum would be like, oh, you know, I found this from the 80s and I never used it, here it is. If she gave this to me, I'd be like, oh wow, FC UK, they were around in the 70s and 80s and whatever. No, these colours are just awful. They are so not of the moment, and so that's the reason I don't use that. And then it also has underneath a lip palette. Don't even get me started on lip palettes. Not for me, not for me. But yeah, I never use that. Most used, loved, and Desert Island. Now I actually haven't watched another one of these videos, can you believe it? I've been kind of busy, and I didn't get around to watching any of these videos before I filmed my own, but I'm going to have one for all categories in that. I don't know if you're supposed to have 3, but I have 1, and it is the original Naked. I feel very strongly that Urban Decay basically took over this video in the good, bad, and the ugly, but this is my favourite Naked, my favourite palette of all time, my most used. If I had to throw all of them away and buy just one, it would be this one. I wish that I could get something like the basics, but with all my favourite colour eyeshadows from Urban Decay, because they make some beautiful colours. Mildew, for one, is just like a slightly greener, sumptuous olive from MAC. Oh, just, there are some beautiful, beautiful colours, and they do the most, well, just the best quality eyeshadows in my opinion. Urban Decay are it. And much as I'm going to try other ones, I feel like even if I try something and I find something that's better, I'm going to be like, no, it's no better than Urban Decay. Because I don't want it to be. I want Urban Decay to be the best because I've just been such a huge advocate of them for so long, but it wins, it just wins, I'm sorry. The Naked 3 is great, it's not as great as this one. And the Naked 2, I don't even need, I hardly ever use. But the Naked Basics, the Naked Basics is amazing. But after making this video, I do feel like I might depot some of my stuff. This could definitely do with depotting. And then the Flare palette as well. Maybe I'll go downstairs and spend my evening depotting some eyeshadows to put in my Unii palette. These really are gorgeous colours as well. It's such a shame because they're nice quality products. It's not even like they're bad. These as well, amazing. I used these for a while when I was sitting at my dressing table in here getting ready every day. I used that like every single day for a couple of months. I loved that. But it's just, I need some, these, it's just a better packaging to slot where I am, and sorry, two-faced. But that's it. That's my version of this tag. I hope you enjoyed it. I will list everything below, or it will be listed in a blog post. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. But if you've done your own video, let me know what yours were. I don't know if you can still do video responses anymore. Google Plus kind of screwed everything up, didn't it? But if you can, then you can leave a video response. Otherwise, just let me know what your favourite palettes were, and let me know if you have any recommendations for a palette I should try whilst I'm in the States, because Lorac is up there and I don't know whether to get the Unzipped or the Pro. I have a few other things on my list, but if you think that I should try something specific, let me know and I will add it to my list. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video, and I don't know when this will be, so I don't know when that will be, but it will be soon. Bye!